This may be my most important video to date. And what it's going to be about is my opinion on doing a hobby, any hobby, debt-free. I'm a firm believer in staying debt-free when it comes to hobbies. I 100% believe that. I have a real life story that's current in a friend of mine right now. I'll share that with you at the end. But what I want to share with you now are the reasons why people go in debt for their hobby. Could be boating, snowmobiling, gun collection, and in my case, my biggest hobby is cars. The easiest way for people to fall into going in debt when they do their hobby, and I'm not sure that this is in the right order, but these would be some of the reasons right here. So it would be ease and availability, and if I spelt it wrong, so what? And what I mean by easy and availability is we live in a world right now where there are so many parts and so many different things that you can get and buy, and the ease of buying it and availability. You don't have to leave your living room, and you can order thousands and thousands of dollars worth of hobby parts or items, and it's really that easy. You can do it right online, and most people are doing it with a credit card. One of the reasons why I don't like credit cards is people tend to spend more than they would if they were paying in cash or in an account that, like, for instance, just as one example, if you were writing a check, the money has to be in the account, or at least it should be, or someplace like PayPal, you have to have the money in the account or you can't spend it. It'll deny the transfer unless you do PayPal credit. But I'm just using these for examples that it has to be paid for. The money has to be there, or the cash has to be there, or you don't get the item. With a credit card, it's very easy to say, if I was buying with cash at a swap meet, maybe I buy the Speedmaster heads. But because I'm using a credit card and it's online, why not get the trick full heads? I'm not against nice parts. I'm not against fancy boats and snowmobiles. I'm not against high-end, high-dollar items, if you can pay for it comfortably with cash. And that's the difference. The second thing that I want to talk about is this. YouTube forums. And what does YouTube and forums mean? Two things. There are going to be people on both that are going to tell you you have to do it one way or it's wrong, or they show how easy it is to do this. And I'm going to stick to the cars, for example, because it's easier for me to talk about cars, and that's what I do is cars. So for instance, you go on YouTube and you watch these street outlaw guys. You watch these 4 and 5 second cars in an 1/8 mile, and you watch people build big horsepower 7, 8, 9, 1100 horsepower engines, and they make it seem so easy. It all gets done in a half-hour video. You know, do they show you the cost? Do they show you what it would cost you? Do they show you the time it takes to do this? And it seems so easy, and it feels like if you don't build that, you're not fast, you're not having fun, and that's the furthest way that you could be from the truth. And the other thing is forums, where people tell you you got to do A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, or your project's going to blow up in your face, and you don't want that. And the famous words are, buy once, cry once. In other words, do the best out there, or you don't cry later when your engine's in a million pieces. And let me tell you something about that. You could take, for example, let's say I had a time button. I'm going to push it. It is now 1970. And you walk up to that dealership and you buy a 70, pick what you want. I'm going to say a 340 Plymouth Duster. You don't drive it home. You load it on a trailer, bring it to your house. This 7340 Duster don't even have 2 miles on it. Pull the engine, disassemble it, bring it to a machine shop. That machinist, and I'm not against machine shops. I got a good machine shop. I like Ed Machine Shop. There's a lot of machine shops out there I like. Nothing wrong with the machine shops, and I don't believe they're lying to you at all. But I have never seen a machinist see a piece of metal they like. You could disassemble that factory brand spanking new 340, and you're going to find them to say the deck heights aren't even. I need to put another 2 angles on the valve job. You see where I'm going with this? Where that 340 under normal conditions goes 100,000 miles without batting an eye, still runs like new. The owner had a lot of fun, a lot of races, and it's still running great at 100,000 miles. Yet you're told on the forums, if you don't do all of this, you're going to be disappointed, your engine's going to blow up, you're going to have all these issues, and you're going to leave the hobby. Not true. Forums and YouTube, also coupled with the ease and availability, brings you right to the point where people take out their credit card and they got to do it right. Going in debt for your hobby, in my opinion, is not right. And I want to extend from this YouTube. It gets even worse if you have a channel, because now you're showing your work. Showing on a YouTube channel can put people in pressure and make them spend money so they too look like the best. You don't find the best here for sure. My goodness, no. And now I want to take you to the backside of what happens. This is a real life story going on right now in a friend of mine's life. I'm not about to say anything about what's going on personally, not even the type of car. I'm not going to give a hint because some people that know me watch this. But I have a friend right now who is doing a car. We're car buddies. He's been 5, maybe 6 years in the making of this car. Bothers me a little bit to even tell this story, but he withdrew from his retirement. That wasn't enough to complete it. The paint he wanted, the engine he wants. He took his work car. Follow me here. He took his work car and borrowed against it to put more money into the car. And then something happened. His work hours declined. And all of a sudden, he got behind, and now his bread and butter car isn't being paid, and he literally had to hide this car because they were coming to repossess it. A hobby of any sort should never put you in this situation. And it's all because of what his friends have, suggest, and own. It's the only reason why he's here. And I am the one friend he has that told him not to. But he's surrounded by people more often than me. He's surrounded by people with better than what I have. And this is the situation he's in. And that's not all that's in jeopardy, is his work car. His house is too. This is the reason why I'm making this video in respect to my friend. Is because when people believe that there's only a certain kind of car that's going to bring happiness, and it's the one that gets other people to approve of it, that's not happiness. That's miserable. That's misery. I'm having just as much fun with my stuff as people that are building stroker aluminum head engines. I'm having just as much fun. But let me tell you what, I just felt I had to put this message out there because of what I've seen happen over and over and over again in people I know lives. And it's happening again to another friend of mine, and I don't like it. So I'm telling my viewers, this is probably the most important video to date I've made. Stay out of debt. Build your cars with cash, what you got. Enjoy them, and don't let people make you feel bad about what you're doing. YouTube, forums, doesn't matter. If nothing else, you got my blessing on it. Build it and have fun.